Over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about how to get clients on demand using Facebook groups. It's a very specific Facebook group strategy. And um, I think on the surface level, that sounds like a really boring topic. You're like, oh, what? And we're not going to just be like going into Facebook groups once a week or once a month and saying, um, we can, install light bulbs for you, or I sell life insurance, where it's a whole different way of approaching the Facebook groups and actually generating real conversations
Mhm.
around your services. And so there's a lot of creativity behind it. It's going to be a lot of fun. What we're going to do today, though, is we're actually going to focus on creating an irresistible offer for your business because that's where we need to start. You can't really get people excited about what you're selling unless you have an irresistible offer, something that solves a very real problem for them or solves a very real pain that they have. And so we want to focus on creating that irresistible offer. So we're going to walk through some steps today on how to do that. And then at the end of the call, I'm going to actually send you guys a template that you can use to do the homework this week and actually create an irresistible offer. Really dial down on who your ideal client is. So it's going to be very, very actionable. Um, what I want to happen on these calls is that you walk away with really clear steps of what to do next in order to start generating more business for your company. And what I don't want to happen is I don't want to just like brain dump everything on you in like one or two sessions, and you're just like, I'm overwhelmed. He crammed it down my throat, and now I don't know what to do. So it's gonna be super actionable. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna get things done in real time. I encourage you guys, if you can, even follow along and maybe even do some of the homework on the calls. You'll be able to do that. So anyway, so let's talk about how to get clients on demand using Facebook groups. And when I say on demand, that's basically saying like, let's say, we create that offer, you go into a Facebook group, you do a special post I'm going to teach you how to do a very particular kind of post, and then for every post that you do like that, you get two new clients or five new clients, maybe even eight new clients or something, depending on how much engagement you get. But we're going to make it where it's predictable and it's like, okay, for this amount of effort that I get X amount of clients out of it, and then those customers buy from me for the next year or whatever. And that's how we're getting clients on demand, which is super powerful. Um, Now, in business, this comes from Jay Abraham. He's like a legend in the sales world, but there's only three actual ways to grow your business. Okay, so remember this and write it down. There's only three ways to grow your business. Number one is you can increase how often your current customers buy from you, which honestly most businesses don't leverage their current customers enough, and they could be getting them buying 50% more often or 20% more often, which is amazing because there's actually a statistic that says um, it costs 8 times more to get a new customer than it does to retain a customer you already have or to get that customer to buy from you again. So marketing can get very expensive and there's a lot of effort involved. Even if it is free, there's a lot of effort. And so it costs 8 times more to get a new customer than to just retain a current customer. So we always want to find ways to get your customers to buy more from you. Number two is you can increase the number of customers you have. Number three is simple, just raise your prices, which honestly most people can afford to do. Like most people aren't charging quite enough for their prices, and so we'll talk about that as well at some point. But today we're going to focus on number two, so increasing the number of customers we have. Okay, super simple. So there's six main steps that we're going to focus on to get clients on demand for your business. And we're going to focus on probably one each week. We might combine like two of them if we have enough time, but for the most part, we're just going to focus on one each week. So number one is craft an irresistible offer, which we're going to focus on today. Number two is creating a landing page or website where people can raise their hand and say that they want whatever you offer. And when I say a website, don't get overwhelmed. It's literally like a one pager, just a one page website where people can fill out a form and just say, I want your service. Um, and I'll show you some tools that you can use for that. But
Okay.
even if you don't have that, um, you can just use a simple Facebook post where you can ask them to send you a message or comment, to that they want what you have to offer. Uh, we have 30 people in our group now, and actually 23 of those people came from me just posting on Facebook. It wasn't even a landing page or anything. So you don't always have to have a website, especially if you're just getting started. You just have to use your creativity and honestly, sometimes the most simple things work better than like a complex website. So, um, and then Erica, did you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. Um, and then number three is we're going to optimize your Facebook profile. So once we get that offer dialed in and we get either a landing page or some type of plan for how we're going to get people to raise their hand on Facebook, we're going to then optimize your Facebook profile. And this can be, ideally, we want to use your personal profile. So Paulo, we'll talk about this more at the time, but even if you have several people in your organization, like if you're all able to work together and actually kind of like um, systematize your Facebook profiles, or even you can even create a separate personal profile just for work. And but the thing about it is your personal profile gets way more reach than business pages do. And so we want to optimize that, optimize our personal profile to start to get customers. And so we're going to be covering that in week 3. Um, and then number 4 is to drive traffic to your offer by using creative posting in local Facebook groups. So we're going to be using again some very unique posts and unique methods to then start conversations and finally book appointments for our product or service. Okay. And so it's a really powerful system. So hang with me because it's going to get really exciting and really fast, I think. And I think you'll be able to see the benefit of doing this. And again, we're not going to be doing like boring, super boring, just like here's another social media post, in a Facebook group. So it's gonna be fun and engaging. Okay, so today let's dive in. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, so let's dive into how to craft an irresistible offer. And really, the first thing is we need to start asking the right questions. In order to craft an irresistible offer that our customers actually want to buy and care about, we need to understand their problems better. And so we need to get clarity on what they're needing by asking the right questions and then providing the right solutions. So, an irresistible offer is so exciting that your ideal customer feels silly not saying yes. Okay. And so, like let's talk about the financial industry really quick. um, you know like we know that there's lots of people selling life insurance out there, for example, or there's lots of people providing electrician services. I used to have a cleaning company. There's like in Rowlett alone, where I live, there was literally like more than 20 or 30 cleaning companies within like 5 miles of my house. Like it's like it's probably like way more than that with all the independent cleaners on Facebook. So it's like, why in the world should I buy your service when there's so many options, and the thing about it is we are many times we're selling a commodity. A commodity is like just a really common product or service, that is just a very common need out there in the world. And so a lot of people do it. Um, And what you have to do is decommoditize yourself and make yourself different from your competition. Um, like for example, I when people would ask, I'm getting a little bit off topic, but I'm just giving you some examples. Um, on Facebook, people would go in our local groups whenever I owned a maid service, and they would say, "Hey, my cleaner canceled on me. I need somebody to clean the house this Friday." And people would comment on their posts and they'd say things like, "I can help," or they'd just reply with a picture of their business card, or they would say things like, well, just yeah, just really simple stuff like I can help or I'd be happy to do it or I have an opening. Okay. We would reply with something like um, our company is the number one rated maid service in the Rowlett area, and we make homes happier and healthier by, or actually, we would say we make homes happier and healthier by being the number one rated maid service in the Lake Ray Hubbard area. We'd love to get you in. Here's our website, and it would like have a really nice picture and like all this stuff. And so, just by doing that, it's like we stood out from the crowd, and we got a lot of inquiries just because the way that we talked about our service was different than the way that everybody else talked about it. Our tagline was, "We make homes happier and healthier." And it's like, you don't even know necessarily that that's cleaning. Like, what is that? Is that cleaning service? Like, but it just is very different. So like for electricians, we make homes shine bright, brighter than the rest, or, I'm just throwing stuff out there, but like you want to talk about your service in a way that's different than how your competition is doing it, and you're immediately going to begin to stand out online. Um, but so we're going to go through some questions, and I want you guys to start thinking about these, and then I'm going to send you a document that you can actually fill out this week to really dive deep on who is your ideal customer, and then how to craft your irresistible offer. But you can start writing some of these things down as they come to you. So so who is my ideal customer? You want to know their name, what is their age? Let's see. Let me, in fact, I'm going to kind of jump ahead here. I'm going to send you guys this
That's
link.
kind of like your avatar, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yes, your customer avatar, exactly.
Okay.
Let me find the chat really quick. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to put this in the chat. There we go. This is a worksheet that you guys can go through on how to define your customer avatar. Can you see
Ooh.
the customer avatar worksheet?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk about this really quick because before we craft our offer, we really have to know um, who is our ideal customer and what's their real pain around what we solve. Because until we understand that, it's going to be like we're not really going to be in tune with what they're going to want to buy from us. Okay. So you want to think of your ideal customer avatar as one person. And you might have like an ideal client. You might be like, man, Susie Smith, she just raves about our service all the time. Like one of my customers, it was this older couple, and they loved us. The lady would call me just to tell me, David, I don't know where you find all these wonderful employees, but everyone is just so nice from your company, and we just love the service, and we just, love having our house cleaned, and it just makes us feel so good. And she would call me just to tell me that. And so like that would be an ideal client, and then we define what does that person look like. So what is their name? Are they male or female? How old are they? Are they married? Do they have children? If so, how many? Like maybe, like Erica, for example, is maybe someone who has a lot of kids is like more
Mm.
likely to buy life insurance statistically. It's like
Yeah.
a real possibility. Um, do they have pets? If so, what kind? What is their annual salary? Are they one income household or two income household? That can be really important to know. Where do they like to hang out online? So in other words, like what Facebook groups are they a part of? Do they like LinkedIn? Do they like to watch YouTube videos? You got to think about what what magazines do they subscribe to, like all those things. And so you want to think about that and write those things down. Where do they shop locally? That's really helpful, especially if you have a local service. Do they exercise? Do they eat organic? And why do they need your product or service? Real quick note on this: do they exercise and eat organic? I was so surprised. One time I sat my best employees down, we had a brainstorming session, and I was like, guys, can you please tell me about our ideal client? I want to know more about our clients, because at that time we had like almost 200 recurring clients and like 15 employees, and we were doing like 400 cleanings a month. And it's like, I didn't know my customers all that well. I knew some of them, but not all of them. And so I wanted to ask my employees, what are our customers like? And I learned that like all of our ideal clients exercise, they all eat organic, they all have a gym membership, they all have dogs. Like, it was amazing. And you really learn a lot if you just sit down and think, or ask your employees, ask your technicians, what they're encountering in people's homes. And then it kind of changes the way you think about where should I be advertising, to my clients. Um, and then you want to ask yourself, why do they need your product or service? So, you know, why do they need life insurance? Why is it? Because you don't want to just like provide like here's something that you could have. Here's an option. It's like your ideal clients, they don't just want your service, they basically need it. You
Hmm.
Um, and so you want to think about, well, why do they need it? What is it about our service, or what is it about their life situation that makes them absolutely have to have what I have to offer? And once you understand that and you can speak it and articulate it in a way that they can understand, they are they're going to feel so cared for by you. Like, if you're speaking their language and you're talking about the conversations they're already having in their head, they're going to feel so much more like you understand their pain, and they're going to want to buy whatever you have, a lot more than just, the average Joe electrician or finance person. And so you want to be thinking about that. Paulo, do you know, like, what are some things that you hear from your customers, like why they absolutely have to have you guys come out?
Um, okay, so it depends on the service. Like I know all the answers to this, and we have a couple of different, no, we have two avatars that I know for sure.
Cool.
One who is going to service that we use for our EV installations, and then we have one that does all the other services, right? And that just depends on what service it is. So as far as I didn't never thought about do you exercise or eat organic. That's interesting. But also another interesting thing is the best employees, the brainstorming with the employees.
Yeah.
That would be a great brainstorming session.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, was your question?
Well, just
What would
just
they need?
yeah, why do they need your service? Like the EV thing is a perfect example of like for them, in their mind, they've got to have an electric vehicle. That's kind of part of their worldview. Like in order for them to
Yeah,
buy an electric vehicle, that's like there's so much going on in their world and in their mind for them to want that really cool, neat new toy. And
yeah, exactly.
I bet that they do eat organic. They're probably more environmentally conscious. Like,
Hmm.
they do exercise. They're healthy. Like there's so many things, that they can be thinking about. And then that gives you, when you understand how they're thinking, it gives you opportunities for upsells, for creating another irresistible offer. Like, make sure that your home is electrically healthy. Let us do a maintenance check. And it's like those kinds of things, um,
Yeah,
that it can a lot of times open up other stuff.
it
Uh,
does. Hmm.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, asking your technicians is really interesting because they'll be able to tell you like what they're seeing in in people's houses. And it's like,
Yeah,
wow, I never would have thought about that. And they begin to understand what's important to the clients, and it gives you so much insight.
right. And
And
it's not just our technicians, it's also our call center people because they talk on the phone with them. They have a rapport with them. And so they can, they brainstorming with them would be great just as much as the technician.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's awesome. Um, and then the next question is, what's the primary emotion they feel after they've received your product or service? So you want to really think about this. And you can have like an after action review, or you do a follow-up call and you're just like, hey, Mrs. Jones, just wanted to know, how did you feel after? Obviously you're not asking them like in this way, but you're like, how do you feel about the EV install? How are you feeling about everything? Oh, I just feel great. And you just really listen to their tone, and you start to understand, okay, this is, they felt like peace of mind, or just so much joy, or they want
mhm.
that done, or they feel really confident now that like they got their solar panels installed, they got their EV installed, they have the car, like it's like they were able to check everything off of their checklist. So you're gonna be thinking through that, and then also, what is the primary problem your product or service solves for them? So it could be like more time, better health, better relational connection, their finances, confidence. Um, Maybe they, just feel really good that they're doing something for the good for the environment or whatever. So you would want to be thinking, what's the primary problem that you're really solving for them? Okay. And then, yeah, you can ask your employees. But I put this in the chat for you guys, and then I'll also post it in the school group later. So you guys can go through this week and really think through each of these bullet points. Okay. Um, and then next, we're going to actually talk about how to craft the offer. And I'll send you guys that as well, so you can have it this week and really think through this. But the goal is, by next Tuesday's call, that you've got an offer crafted, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And you can bring it to the call. We can beat it up together. You can ask questions. We can talk about it, and then you can then we can start to actually use it online. Um, but any questions so far on the customer avatar? How to really get these questions? And honestly, if you're not sure about some of this stuff, like, you can just ask them, or go to like surveymonkey.com and create a free survey, and just ask people, or even do like an Instagram poll. Um, what's uh, what's the primary thing that having life insurance solves for you? Is it um, just financial security? Is it peace of mind? Or is it um, so your wife will stop nagging you? Like, because a lot of times the real reason is different than what you would think. Just do a poll, and then you can find out, okay, this is why people want my service. And then you begin to tailor your marketing language and tailor your offer to include those things. Does that make sense? So the best thing to do is just to ask your people as you're talking with them. And Paula, like, I'm sure you guys have really good scripts and questions already, but maybe there's some things you can do to with your call center to like give them even more resources, more talking points.
Right, this is a great thing because I think that would help our call center.
Mhm.
Things are changing now, we're growing, and so we need to, I want to say, up our scripts, and what we say, and really get the message out there that we care. So this is really great. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, anytime, I read a book a long time ago from like one of the best online salespeople, and he talks a lot about anytime you can use marketing to really prepare your ideal customers before they even come in the door, so to speak, it makes your sales actually go so much easier. And so having more front end marketing and having a really dialed in offer and stuff can actually make the call center's job even easier, where they're winning more customers more frequently, and it just helps everybody. So marketing is so important. Um, so then, okay, so we've defined who's our ideal customer at this point. We've um, defined the problem that our ideal customer has, and now we want to think through, okay, what solutions do I have to solve my customer's problem? Okay, and so and sometimes once you do that customer research, you start to get a sense of like, my customer's problem is actually a little bit maybe different than I thought it was, or I solve it in a different way than what I thought. Um, and so you want to think through that real heavily. And then can you bundle any existing services you have into an irresistible offer? And I'll explain what I mean by that. But anytime you can create a bundle or kind of a value stack, um, that is going to be so much more powerful than just like, um, you know, here's, here's why you need life insurance or whatever. It's like if you can be like, uh, we give a free consultation and then like a free uh, monthly workshop, and you're going to get this and this and this benefits, and you're going to get peace of mind, and normally costs this much, but you're going to get this and this and this for free, and so it's like it's really just this price. And so there's, when you can stack things and like really build up what's included in your offer, it can make a really big difference. And it can be as simple as things like, um, you know, like professionalism, like professional, highly trained technicians, or certified, they're certified technicians, or, there's all kinds of things where you can just set yourself apart. Like in my company, we said this because it was actually true. We used the world's top training program for maid services for our technicians, and they were certified. And so, like, that was an actual thing that I could say. And so, probably you can find something about your service or product that sets you apart from the competition. And then we want to talk about what's the actual dollar value of the full stack. So let's make a little bit more sense if I just go through it. And so let's do that. Uh, let's go through an example. I'm going to use maid service as an example, just because that's what was my background and is what I think about a lot. And then maybe we could brainstorm some of the things that you guys could offer. But we want to create what's called a foot in the door offer. This is an offer that just gets people to raise their hand and want to say yes to whatever it is that you're selling, and they're just interested. Even just to get a name and a phone number or an email address is super powerful, because then we can keep marketing to them on the back end with phone scripts and email scripts and text scripts and all this stuff. There's so much we can do once we have their information, or we can just be messaging them on Messenger. So an example of a foot in the door offer from maid service is what is the core service. So um, Paula, in your example, you could have one obviously for like the EV hub install. Erica, I'm sure you've got probably several different products that you can offer within life insurance, several different types of life insurance. So you could have like, what's the core, the core service that you're offering, and then what peripheral things can I add around that. So for example, mine was maid service or house cleaning. And then we're gonna list a value stack of 7 to 10 steps. We're gonna add a monetary value to each step. So I'll show you what I mean. So for this example, I decided to do a 4-hour spring cleaning. Okay. And this is like just to get people in the door. It's 4 hours, 4 solid hours of cleaning. And so if they've never tried our service out before, they're gonna be like, wow, that's like it's a lot of time. We can get a lot done actually. And so then we want to stack what it includes. Okay. And so 1 bathroom, 1 bedroom, and a living area deep cleaned from top to bottom. So they know that they're getting a deep clean. And that would normally be $135 if I were to sell it by itself. Does that make sense? And then all of the fans deep cleaned by hand, $25 value by itself. All the furniture hand wiped, $25 value. Return air vents vacuumed, $15 value. All the woodwork, trim, and baseboards hand wiped, $35 value. All interior windows washed, $75. High quality. Oh, and then so this is like what we're doing, and then this is like how we're doing it. And so even just building up the value of how you're going to do the thing differently than maybe your competition, or just something they wouldn't even thought of. We use high quality microfiber towels to remove dust from your home instead of spreading it around. Priceless. All floors professionally vacuumed, mopped, and sanitized for your health and safety. $35. All hard surfaces sanitized, removing up to 99% of germs and bacteria. So we kind of hook in the people who are really like health conscious. And then they also get $100 off a whole house top to bottom deluxe clean when they sign up for recurring service. And so it's like basically getting $100 discount, if you will. So I add all those things up, and notice how like you want to talk about what each one includes and why it's important, like where it sounds impressive to them and it sounds like something that they're going to want. And then put that dollar value. And so the total value of that service comes out to $445. So it's like a perceived value of $445. But for our offer, it's only $200. And then let them know how much they're saving. So it's $55 off the original price. So like if they were to buy all of these things a la carte, it would be 445, and they're getting 55% off the original price. Does that make sense? So you want to think about things that you can do in your value stack, and give every single one a dollar value, unless it's more emotional, like you notice I put priceless. If it's kind of an emotional value or a peace of mind value, you could
Mm.
put priceless. You know how Discover Card does that on their commercials. Um, but and then what's really important here is I'm charging $200 for this cleaning. And remember, it was a 4-hour spring cleaning. So basically, it's $50 per hour that we're there. Back when I had my maid service, we charged $55 per hour. So this is about that it's like a market rate, if you will, market value. But notice that I'm not actually discounting what it costs me to provide the service. Now there are some times when you can give things away for free, but what I see a lot of people doing is they discount their services so much on the front end that they never make money. And what you end up doing is just like having a big churn of customers, and there's not enough cash flow coming into the business, and it creates a lot of stress on the business and the technicians, and it's like it just makes the environment not as fun, and it can actually be very costly. I remember one time in my company, in my CRM, I was able to see how many discounts we were giving away, and I looked one month, and we had given away like $3,000 worth of discounts just in one month, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea I was doing that. And so if you're not careful, it's really easy to let that get away from you, and you just are giving everything away for free. And again, we want to be profitable so that we can have an impact for God's kingdom. We can do great things. We can help our families. Whatever the case may be. We can bless our technicians, like have really nice Christmas bonuses for them. Like there's so many things you can do when the company is really healthy financially, and so we got to focus on profit. But so anyway, so build up each of those things and then put like a dollar value on it, and then let people know how much they're saving by getting this one particular bundle. And this is something that it's like exclusive. Like they can't just like add a bunch of a la carte stuff and get the same price. Like this is like a very exclusive thing that we've figured out what our customers want and need, most of our customers, what our ideal customer wants, and we've tailored this just to them, and we're still making the right amount of money on it, but they're saving money by essentially by getting this bundle. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Just want to make sure I'm super clear on how I'm explaining it. And then what you can do on the thank you page, you can even, and this is if we're using like a website or a funnel, which I'll show you guys how to do. And for my private clients, we actually do all of this done for you, and we create scripts and email follow up and text follow up and like a whole thing to really help you get clients fast. But you could you can do it however you need to do it. But on the thank you page, we actually can. You want to do like an upgrade. So let's say they raise their hand and say, "Yes, I want the thing." You want to incentivize them to like book now or call your office. You really want to get them to talk to somebody, on the phone, whatever the case is for your business. And so a couple thank you page offers you could do is like a free assessment for a recurring cleaning service when you're on site. Um, you could say something like, call now to get a free vacuum treatment for blind shutters and window coverings. So maybe there's something you didn't offer on the front end, but you could offer it on the back end and it takes like 5 or 10 minutes. Call now to get a free fridge or reorganization, something like that. Or, so there's different things you could offer on the back end. Do you guys have any questions about this? No? Paula, what are some things that come to mind for you that that you could add, or I mean that you could include in a bundle, something like this?
So if we were to go out and do, so let's talk about the EV charger installations.
Yeah.
When we go out to do those, we offer to do a safety check, free of charge, right? But one thing that we could offer is our W3 Winners membership program.
Yeah.
And we could, offer to have that and tell them what we check and those kind of things. But to bundle anything else, oh, yes, surge protection. There's another thing, but I can't quite think of it right now. But there's other little things that we could put together. And then on the upgrades, some people like to do the upgrading in their lighting. Okay, well, when you do your lighting, and if they've been a previous customer, we would then do a W3 Winners membership, add that to it. If they've done X amount of upgrades, those kind of things.
Yeah, that's cool. One thing you could do, like how much does the membership cost? Is it annual?
There is an annual and a monthly cost. So it's like $14.99 or $200 a year.
Oh, it's only $200 a year?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So what you could do is actually like I would have whatever your EV charger bundle costs right now, have that as like your basic or something, and then
Mm-hmm.
have deluxe EV charger package and charge a higher price. I would even charge like $300 or $350 more and include the membership for free. And then maybe think of one or two other things. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you could like send a technician out just to, well, no. Anyways, you could think of like one or two things that basically cost you nothing to deliver,
Mm-hmm.
that you could do throughout the year. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Then
Mm-hmm.
you have tiers to the EV charger thing, and really, other services, you could do the same thing where you have tiers and you just,
Mhm.
I think personally, I think $200 for the membership is actually really low. I don't know what all it includes, but it just sounds really low. I think you could probably charge more and just include that in like your deluxe or premium packages.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to repeat that one. But for what it offers, and for what it offers, not but, it offers, a maintenance check, a yearly maintenance check on your electrical systems, and discounts, and priority, because you are a member. We put you as priority if you call in if something happens or whatever.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think you're right. We can do more. Okay.
that's very cool. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot of value. You honestly probably could just raise the price on that and then just include it on all your, like, create a deluxe package or a premium package for any service you already offer and throw that in for free. And I think
Hmm.
people are more inclined to buy kind of an all-inclusive thing, but also what it does, and we'll talk more about this. We'll talk about price anchoring and everything later, but what it does is it anchors people to a higher price in their mind. So if you, whenever the call center is doing pricing on the phone, let's say that um, the EV charger installation is, you know, 3,000 for the basic and it's 3,500 for the deluxe. You start with the deluxe and you go over everything it includes. And then if they don't want that, you go down to the basic. Now what's happened is they're price anchored to a higher price in their mind. So when you do that step down, they're more likely to buy, you know.
Hmm.
I don't know if you guys already doing something like that, but you always want to be offering packages. Uh,
Well, we do. So our technicians, when they go out there, they give them their options. Your three options is basically what it is. Your basic, what they have to do, and then what you could do, and then, an upgrade kind of
yeah.
thing. They give options like that. As far as our call center giving options, they don't
Mhm.
do pricing over the phone or anything like that, unless it has to do with our EV. We do have an EV specialist who does do pricing over the phone kind of thing. And I believe she does breaker panels too. But yeah,
Cool.
that's an idea.
Yeah, no, that's great. Um, yeah, you could probably just throw the membership in on those. I create a deluxe package for those specifically, and you'll probably end up selling more. Even if they don't buy the deluxe, they'll buy more of the basic just from the price anchoring. But it's great that you
Hmm.
guys are already selling packages in the field. That's awesome. So
Hmm.
awesome. Cool, cool. Um, yeah, and then again, you could think of something that you could throw in for like a thank you page offer. Just for them. This is basically saying because you raise your hand, we're going to reward you. And whether it's financial services, like whatever insurance, whatever you're offering, um, just throw something in for free that doesn't really cost you anything to deliver on, or it might cost you, $5 or $10, but it's high value. And so you want to be thinking of things that are, anytime you're talking about your services and creating bundles and creating offers, you want to think about things that are high perceived value, um, but don't cost you anything. Like I get, my business coach sends me stuff sometimes. He like sends me stickers in the mail, I mean, a sticker costs like 25 cents or something, but it makes me feel good. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's little things like that that you can include in your service. Maybe you partner with um, like a local coffee company and you send care packages to your customers and you're not even paying for those. Maybe you negotiate with the coffee owner to send those for free, as a way of marketing. It's just a little baggies and it costs them like $3. And then um, you do like an email blast for them and use a social media post, and maybe you do an interview on your Facebook page with them, and you're promoting their services to your clients, but it didn't cost you anything really. It just cost you a little bit of time, and so a lot of times you can find joint venture partners like that. They're willing to work with you. So just always be thinking about what can I offer that's like an upgrade or even a cross sell, if you have two different companies. So, um, okay, so I know we just had Ethan and Sinai jump on. Good to see you guys here today. I know it's kind of late. We're just talking about how to create an irresistible offer. And so I'll post the call recording, today's call recording, in the group here in just a little while this afternoon with the homework. And so you'll be able to watch the whole thing and you didn't miss anything. So um, it'll be really, really helpful for you. But so again, to recap, over the next several weeks, we're going to be crafting our irresistible offer for our company or service, and it could be multiples, but we want to create a landing page or website where people can raise their hand and say that they want your offer, or it can even be as simple as just a Facebook post. Again, like most of you guys are in the group, um, just for me posting on Facebook. So that's awesome. So it proves that it works. And then we're gonna focus on optimizing your Facebook profile for your business. And this is huge. It can drive a lot more traffic to your stuff. And then we're gonna use creative posts in local Facebook groups. Again, not just boring posts. It's really gonna be really interesting where we're starting conversations with people and booking appointments. So that's what we're going to be covering over the next several weeks. And then from there, we'll launch off into several other things around marketing. There's obviously so much to cover. And my goal is to teach you guys things, everything that I've learned about marketing in my life. I've literally paid tens of thousands of dollars um, to learn about marketing over the last several years. Just in the last couple of years, I've probably paid, gosh, I don't know. I've I spent almost $20,000, I think, in the last year or two on just marketing and leveling up my understanding. So, and then the things that I'm going to be teaching you guys have literally made me hundreds of thousands of dollars in my business. So it's real stuff. It really works. I promise. And the the um, the big thing is just that you want to take action on this stuff. Everybody say action takers are money makers.
Action takers are money makers.
Action takers are money makers. So, so I want you guys to take action on this week. And remember, just to recap, how we create an irresistible offer is we want to ask the right questions. Who's my ideal customer? What problems does my ideal customer have? What solutions do I have to solve my customer's problems? Can I bundle my existing services into an irresistible offer? And then what's the actual dollar value of the value stack? And I'm going to send you guys these documents so you can have them and be working through them this week. So again, you want to choose your core service for your offer. Once you've answered all the questions for your customer avatar, what's your core service? List of value stack. I recommend 7 to 10 steps. I wouldn't do less than that, and I wouldn't do more than that. If it's less, it's like not. It seems like you're not offering enough value. If it's more than that, it's just overwhelming and people aren't going to read it. So stick with 7 to 10. That's kind of the magic number. Make sure each one has a monetary value, and then list them out and really be detailed in what's included. Not like too detailed. It needs to be short and sweet, but they need to get a sense of wow. Like whenever we used to talk to people on the phone, and Paul, I'm sure that you guys get this in your service too. Whenever we talk to people on the phone about our service, we would list out what everything includes, what our different packages included, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, wow!" And literally, people would be like, "Oh wow!" And they would say, "You're the first company I found that actually will do that thing, that actually offers that service. Most companies won't do it." And so we prided ourselves on being kind of a premium service, if you will. But so list out those things, put a dollar value, and then add up what it actually costs. And you should be getting to a pretty high number. And you might realize, wow, I do have a lot to offer. It gives you more confidence about your service so that you can believe in it. And then decide on what you need to charge to deliver on that service without actually discounting it. Okay. That might break your brain a little bit, but I want you guys to not think about how can I discount my services to get people to buy them? How could, like there's a saying, it's being the cheapest service in town is like a really fast race to the bottom. It's a really fast race to being broke. You
Mhm.
don't want to be the cheapest. You want to value your services and charge what you need to charge. And kind of to wrap up, I'll leave you guys with this around. There's a lot around the psychology of pricing. Um, the psychology of pricing is really, really, really interesting. Did you know that there are actual studies that show that wine tastes better from a heavy bottle, a heavy glass bottle? Okay. Now, notice I didn't say studies show that there's a perception that wine tastes better from a glass bottle. Wine does actually taste better from a glass bottle. Um, Now, the reason why that's true is because when we are marketed to, so we are constantly being marketed to. We're constantly being sold on the value that people are trying to give or offer. And when you are marketed to in an effective way and you believe that you're receiving a superior product or service, when you take that glass of wine, for an example, and take a drink of it, when it was poured right in front of you from this really heavy, um, uh, bulk, strong glass bottle, and it's so pretty, and you're like, oh wow, and then you take a drink of it, your everything in your physiology changed and your mentality changed to so that when you take that drink, it does taste better than if it was
Mhm.
just like any old glass of wine. Does that make sense? Uh,
Mhm.
so anything that you experience in life, when you're marketed to properly, it actually legitimately increases the value of the experience that you have. And that's what you need to try to do for your customers. That's what you want to do with your irresistible offer is you want to provide so much value and perceived value and build it up for them in such a way that they are so happy that you let them give you money for the service. Okay. And you never want to discount your services. You want to provide so much value that people want to say yes, and you're solving problems and serving people at a really high level. And honestly, how many of you know you can serve people at such a higher level when you do charge premium prices?
Mhm.
It's everyone is going to be happier, basically.
Yeah.
So it's really important. So, and then think about some just a little upgrade that you could do for your thank you offer. A thank you page, or let's say somebody signs up for your service through Facebook, then just be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to throw in this thing right here just because you said yes. And so, and then if you guys want to, I'm going to put these links in the chat for those that just joined. Um, if you guys need a landing page builder, Go High Level is my favorite, and it's pretty easy to build landing pages on there. Again, with our private clients, we actually like do all this for you. We do done for you services with all of that, but they
So
do.
you like go high level?
I love it. Yeah.
Really? It does a lot? We'll
Oh
have to talk more about that
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. It does pretty much everything. So you can build your website in there. Even if you already have a website, you can just add landing pages without taking away from your website.
hmm
It does email marketing, text marketing. You can even receive calls through there. It has a whole sales pipeline. You can actually set up your team with a sales pipeline and have them manage it. It'll do follow up. You can actually,
CRM.
yeah, it's a CRM. You can even
Okay.
you can actually use it to even manage your field technicians. I'm sure you already have something for that, but like it's literally can do everything. You can do ringless voicemails, which I love for service companies. That's really powerful. Like, hey, we're running a promotion this month, and you send a voicemail to all 7,000 of your people in your database, and it's just awesome.
Okay,
But
cool.
they do have a 14-day free trial, and you can check it out. There's tons of tutorials on how to use it on YouTube. It's actually the most popular CRM uh, right now, and it's really, really good. So
And how much is it after the free trial?
yeah, the basic one is $97 a month. So it's, if you're just starting out, it's a little bit of money, but the cool thing is you'll never need anything else. Like, it basically does everything, which I used to spend hundreds of dollars, probably thousands of dollars on CRMs back in the day, and it was like, now they have it to where it'll just do everything for you, and you really just need one thing. Um, but so anyway, you guys can check that out. Don't worry if you're not ready for that. You can totally. I'm going to teach you how to utilize Facebook in a way that's really simple, to where you can get people to raise your hand just on Messenger. So no worries. And then I sent you guys the. Make sure I sent you the right one. Okay, I sent you guys the customer avatar worksheet. Let me send one more thing to you guys really quick. I'm going to send you this page that I'm on now, and it also has a link to the customer avatar worksheet in there. So really, if you just save that last one, you'll have everything. But so for homework this week, number one is define your ideal customer. So I want you to take just like 30 minutes to an hour and really think through the customer avatar worksheet. Again, what's their name? How old are they? Are they married? Do they have children, pets? What's their income? What are you solving for them? And then brainstorm what solutions you can offer, because you might realize, once you think through their pains, you might realize, oh, you know what, we could offer this service and actually wouldn't, like, I'd be really good at that and would be easy to deliver on. You don't want to offer something that's not easy for you to do, but if you can do it, then that's great. And then craft your value stack of your existing services, place a dollar amount on it, and then decide on that final price for your service. And then make sure you're not actually discounting it. Like in my example, my 4-hour spring cleaning, I'm charging $200, so I'm really not discounting it. It's exactly what I want to make, but the perceived value is much higher than that. So that's the basics of how to create an irresistible offer. So I encourage you guys to do that this week. Do you guys have any questions or just any thoughts? No? What was let's go around the room real quick. What was the biggest takeaway for you today? Erica, you want to go first?
A lot. I got a lot of notes in, but I definitely like the 7 to 10 steps, detailing of your services and whatnot. I really like that, because I'm thinking about, if I was a customer, I want to know exactly what I'm going to get and exactly what I'm paying for.
Yeah.
So for me, that's going to help a lot towards the cleaning business.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, you could do this with your health stuff too, the juices and the different things that you offer. And you might be able to put together some pretty high level stuff where people are happy to pay you a premium every week, to get more of a bundle, if that makes sense. You have kind of a membership.
Yeah, I kind of stepped away from doing that. I've been in the process of moving and getting my life insurance license. So it's
Cool.
been a little hectic, but yeah, good idea. I do have people still asking me for them. I just have not had time to invest my time into that.
Well, I understand that. It is a lot of work.
But
So,
for the life insurance, I do work for the #1 trusted insurance agency and top 3 in the most trusted financial agency. So I'm definitely going to market that. And I haven't even thought about marketing that before class. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, having clarity, I mean, just makes such a huge difference. Very cool. Paula, what about you? What was like your biggest takeaway from today?
Um, I guess the 7 to 10 steps too, and adding a monetary, like being how do you say it, detailed in those steps.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest takeaway. I don't think that we do that. We kind of give an overview of everything, and I think that people like to see the details. There are a lot of people who like to see the details, and when you spell it out for them, it's helpful.
You made a really good point. And honestly, a lot of our ideal clients for any home service business, many of our ideal clients, and even the financial industry, they are the more detailed people. They're very direct. They like to know what they're going to get, how much is it going to cost me, how long is it going to take. They like to ask questions, and those
Mhm.
actually are many times our ideal customers. And so when we are really upfront about that and like offer that value upfront, many times it's more incentive for them to say yes.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Cool. Ethan, were you able to get any takeaways from today? I know you just caught the tail end, but did kind of a quick recap. Is there anything that sticks out to you?
Yeah, I was in class for my business principles class, and you actually answered one of the questions that I had in class over the call. I was thinking, I saw an ad for Shopify, and then YouTubers that I also follow and watch, they're always marketing Shopify, and I was like, am I selling a product, or is that something? Because my business, in short, is an event business.
Hmm.
Um, it's basically, in short, if you're a country bumpkin, it's a it's a rodeo for cars.
Oh,
Or
cool.
if you're more into the car community, it's a um, it's a legal takeover. It's a legal street takeover
Uh-huh.
event. And so you telling me about I already forgot the name, but I already copied and pasted it so I could look into it some more on the website to use that. And then I can manage the people who are doing parking, who are doing photography,
Mhm.
um, etc. So I'm going to be using that in the future, definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, it could help you manage like any contractors you have or employees you
Mm.
want. Definitely even do that. Very cool. Um, awesome. Well, I'm super excited to jump into next week's topic. We'll talk more about either how to do the landing page, or I'll talk about both how to do the landing page and also how to just do stuff on Facebook. And so that'll be really actionable as well. We've got just an open Q&A on Thursday at the same time at 11 o'clock. It's on the calendar. Make sure that you guys go into the calendar and you can add all of these calls into your Google Calendar as a recurring event, and it'll have the Zoom link for you. So go ahead and add those so you can get notified. And um, every Monday at 8 a.m., what we're going to do is we call it our weekly win call. And I'm actually going to do a really quick, like 5 to 10 minute training every week on productivity, how to set goals, how to better accomplish your goals, how to focus. And it's all a framework that I learned from Michael Hyatt. It's a really high level framework that I think will be helpful to everyone. So if you want to, you can jump on those. And then what we'll do is we'll all just say, these are my big 3 things for this week that I've got to get done. And these are, this is my focus for today. And it's really kind of an accountability call too. How many of you know like you're going to be way more likely to do something if you told everybody you're going to do it, right? Because you're going to
Yeah.
hold
Mhm.
yourself accountable. And I know I'm like that. I need that accountability too. So I'm actually partly doing it for myself. But I've been on calls like this in the past and I love them. They're really fun and energetic, and it's a great way to start your week. So save that one as well. And then every Thursday we'll do a Q&A time. So if you've gone through the worksheet and you want to kind of beat up some ideas, that's a great time to do it as well.
Okay.
All right, but thank you guys so much for jumping on with me today. Looking forward to next week, and then please share the group in your on your Facebook, invite your friends, like invite anyone to the group. We'd love to have them. And super excited to keep diving into these trainings.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, David.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. Have a great
Bye.
week.
You as well.
Bye.
Bye.